Hello there, it's Jeroen here, and today I want to talk about unhealthy relationships. Why do we end up again and again and again up in unhealthy relationships with either a partner or maybe a boss or just some kind of friendship that is every time again and again on the same way unhealthy? Where does it come from and what can we do about it? So, when we go back to our childhood times, from the age of 0 to 7, whatever happens in this time, we can understand from science, is we take very personal. We are very vulnerable as children because whatever happens in those times, we take as our doing. And when we not get the right feedback, the right loving feedback from our parents or caretakers, we will take it as our doing. And so, in my personal situation, a friend of mine died when we were 6 years old. He died of cancer. And I can see now, around 25 years later, that I took this very personal. I felt kind of guilty that he passed away. I even wrote on a letter I heard later from my mother that I wanted to die. And the reason why I did this because I felt I was guilty of his death. And in this way, many of us have something they feel guilty for, or they took it upon themselves. And now, of course, when we're maybe 25 years older, we can of course understand, of course, I'm not the fault, I'm not guilty. But at that age, we just take it personal and we take it upon ourselves like, this is my doing. And yeah, when we don't get the right feedback from our parents or caretakers, we don't get this loving attention, and that our parents say, no, it's not you who did this, you cannot do anything about it. You were not the fault of it. And they give you love, compassion, uh, whatever emotion you need at the time, then it would not have been a problem. But it's so hard to be a good parent, that often this is neglected in our younger years, to the age of around 7. And yeah, so when this is not healed, then this will keep following us in our whole lifetime. Whatever we do in our life, this emotional, this karmic bondage to this situation keeps following us in whatever we do. And whatever happened in those younger years, based on those emotions which are made up by the mind, and these images are being viewed by the mind, and through that perception, the mind creates certain emotions, and these emotions are karmic connections with these situations and maybe also with these people, and they keep us bondaged, and they keep us from thriving, from being our true selves. And so whatever decision we have to make later in life, we reflect and based on those emotions, based on those previous experiences. It's kind of a fight and flight mechanism. So yeah, we will not take certain challenges or certain difficulties, which are actually maybe not even so difficult for us, because we felt not safe, not cared for when we were younger. So what we have to do in this case is we have to reparent our inner child, because it's actually the wounded child inside of us which needs to be healed. And because we can see maybe in big companies, maybe there's some person on the top doing big things, but he's still acting like a child because of the inner hurt child. And people can go to great extents of doing really bad things, from raping women to maybe even starting a war. Just imagine, Hitler didn't maybe get the love in his younger years, and that's why he decided to do such cruel things. And it often, we can see it really has to do with the inner hurt child. So what we can do, we can learn to go back to our younger years, to the time we were around 0 to 7 years old. And mostly it's in the bit later stages, but they can also be in the younger stages. In my case, it was more the later stages as far as I can remember. But what we can do is we can learn to sit and meditate on what happened around those times. And we can observe the emotions that come up in us. And often we keep ourselves just busy, you know, in the Western world, in the modern world, we just go from activity to activity. And because we're all in our mind here, including myself, we're just acting out of our mind. And we have to go back from our mind to our heart. But because our heart has been neglected often in our childhood times, we have disconnected because we understood it's not safe to be in contact with our emotions. But when we can go back to our emotions, we can observe what is actually there. Maybe there's some pain, anger, sadness, whatever is there. We can sit with it. We can observe it. We can embrace it, accept it, and release it. Maybe cry. And in case maybe it was one of your parents, be angry at your parents, cry at your parents because they didn't hurt you. They didn't hurt you on the emotional, on the heart level at that time. And for example, you can imagine that they're sitting in front of you, put a chair in front of you and imagine that they're sitting there and tell them with your heart, with your emotions, what is on your heart. And cry out, yell out. Maybe you're so angry you want to smash something, take a pillow or whatever is safe to punch, and just release those emotions, because those emotions maybe been stuck there, in my case for example, for 25 years. So they're very, very stuck. So it's good to just release those emotions, because once they have been released, realizations can also come for deeper levels of healing, for deeper traumas or for deeper issues which are holding you back in thriving, in finding who you really are, and finding what is your real purpose. And so we can go back to those times. And then once we have experienced those emotions and fully embraced those emotions, then comes also the time of forgiveness. Because even though your parents neglected you, we can also understand that our parents maybe just didn't know any better, because whatever our parents did is because probably what they got from their parents or from their pastimes. So in this way, it's like a chain, you know, it's like a chain that is keep going until one person decides to break the chain, and then the chain is broken. And breaking this chain happens through the process of observing what is there, accepting what is there, embracing what is there, releasing what is there, this emotional karmic bondages with your pastime, with your parents, breaking those bondages, and then forgiving the persons involved with these situations. And then you will feel just completely lighter. It will just go away. And when we can understand that this world is for us to learn to break our bondage with karma, then when we also do this, we can get instead in contact with our unhealthy emotions. We can get in contact with our soul, which resides in the heart, which is full of bliss and full of knowledge. So this is also why often when we release these emotions and we find some inner peace again, that we get to realizations, because then realizations come from the heart, because the soul is full of knowledge. It's Satchitananda. It's eternal, it's full of bliss, and it's full of knowledge. And so we can get to this knowledge, and then we also can release this bliss again, because we feel free. We don't feel to put on a facade, we don't have to put on a mask. We can leave it all behind. And it's a gradual process of releasing these stuck emotions, images, embracing them, accepting them, understanding what it is, and forgiving the person involved. And then also, we can also understand that sometimes maybe there's a stuck emotion because we did something. And it doesn't have to per se be, of course, in the younger years, especially when we were the cause of this situation to happen. And it can also be that we did something which was not appropriate. So in that case, we go through the same process, but the forgiveness is towards ourselves. And the reason, and this is a bit deeper understanding, this is a Vedic understanding, because we believe in reincarnation, and the reason why we keep reincarnating is because we still have these karmic bondages. And these karmic bondages keep staying there until we've released these bondages. And so we released these bondages with our hurt inner child, with our perception of how the world should be. But when we can see that everybody actually is a soul who's pure, who's Satchitananda, eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss, so it's pure, we can also understand, we can of course also forgive everybody. We could even forgive someone like Hitler who killed so many Jews, because we also understand that also he is a pure soul. And so in that case we can also forgive ourselves and others. But the point which I want to get to is that whatever happened in our life is also our own doing, because we did certain things in previous lives which we probably not can even remember. There's only a few people that can remember previous lifetimes. But in those lifetimes we probably did things which were not so appropriate, so we will get karma for this, and we get it back in this life. We not just get good karma, but we also get bad karma. And as far as I understood, don't take me on this 100%, but as far as I understood, most of our karma kicks in at our younger years, because then it's more truly, it hits us more intensely. This is my personal perception or realization of why it happens actually in younger years, why very bad things happen, why children, for example, get abused. And this is probably because we did something in previous lives. Does it mean we cannot be angry at the person? Because anger, mainly anger, is needed to fully say, okay, when you got, for example, raped, or anyone got raped in these younger years, yes, it's okay to be angry at that person that did this to you. And also learn to forgive him, because if the forgiveness part is not there, the bondage will stay, because you will stay angry at them. But once you release, all the weight of the karma is on this person which hasn't released yet. So this person at that point also have to embrace emotion and accept that he did something wrong or she did something wrong, and forgive him or herself. Because only at the point of full forgiveness with the heart, not just with the mind, but with the heart, then this bondage can be released. And then realizations happen, as I said, and then we will get to deeper levels of our true identity, and we can experience also our inner bliss, which is dormant in our soul by nature. And then we can find closer and closer our true purpose in this life. And so it's not always so easy to do this, not at all actually, and it's very brave also to do this, because it's very painful. You probably have to become angry a lot, cry a lot, and I do. And it's very healthy, because these are emotional baggages. It's just a big, very heavy luggage which you take on your journey, and it's just holding you back in your self-realization, in your realization to your true identity, your true purpose in this life. So by going through this process, which is very heavy, you will release more and more baggage, so you'll feel becoming more and more lighter and getting deeper and deeper self-realization. And this takes time. And for this to do, it's really recommended to find a safe space, which I personally finally found after many years, having my own room even, which is very new to me, my own apartment, and maybe find a friend, a group of friends which can help you go through this process, which are doing the same. You can talk about it, because talking can help you to go deeper into realizations of why this happened to you, why you're stuck in this and this emotion, and get to deeper and deeper levels of self-healing. And self-realization is then on the other side. And so yes, it's not easy, but it's really worth it. And I believe this is why we're here, to release this baggage, to get to our true identity, which is here in the heart, where according to the Bhagavad Gita we understand that is where the soul is. And then we get to deeper levels of inner knowledge and inner bliss. So I hope you like this video and inspired you to do also some self-healing. And if you have any questions about, okay, how do I go about it, or whatever questions you have, please leave a comment down below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share this video with friends who could maybe also do some letting go of heavy emotions, do some self-healing. And if you feel courageous, you can even share it with family members. And yeah, if you haven't done yet, please subscribe to my channel on YouTube or follow me on Instagram, and see you to the next video. Have a nice day.